Good afternoon folks, and welcome back to another Baggins International video. And today you join myself, Baggins, on a little bit of a car review. And we're looking at an SUV, which is something we're not normally too interested in, to be honest with you. Mostly I'm keen on the sports cars or the supercars, but then there's a little bit of a penchant for the slightly unusual. So come up to the Gallivanter main dealer here, and they've got us a nicely prepared, lightly customized vehicle to have a bit of a play around in. As you can see, they're quite nice cars, or I guess cars, would you call them? SUVs. Let's stick with that. So yeah, they're quite nice SUVs. They are good size, get 4 crew members in, no problem at all. Quite a decent road presence. Reasonable amount of chrome if you're into that sort of thing, and in this particular sort of surf blue colour with the black wheels. Very attractive looking vehicle. Very plush inside, very comfortable. Lots of leather and shiny bits, knobs and buttons, bells and whistles and all that sort of malarkey. So we'll hop in, and this particular model is the Gallivanter Baller, and I think we're all in agreement that this is predominantly based on the Range Rover Evoque, as famously styled by Mrs. Beckham. But less of that the better, maybe. It does stand in its own right as an excellent car. Perhaps styling support is more the correct way of putting it. Anyway, so we're gonna have the Gallivanter for a day, and we're gonna take it out. We're gonna test it around town, and we may even take it off road. Now, obviously, most of these SUVs don't really leave the city, or do much more than a trip down to the end of the road. So let's really give this one a good going over. So we'll pull out of the main dealer, have a quick look there. Again, very nice in this sort of colour combination. Very attractive in a bit more of the sunlight now the sun's coming up. So as you can see, yep, there's the main dealer, the showroom there. We'll say we've borrowed the car for the day from Dave, who's the showroom manager. Very nice chap. So we're going off down the road here, and we're just, I think we can all agree really that these sort of soccer mum SUVs are excellent around town at the best of times, and rarely struggle with the mundane task of popping down the road or going to the shops, picking up the kids or dropping people off, or whatever it is that people choose to do with them. Now, SUVs stand for sports utility vehicle, so the idea of these things is that, you've got plenty of space to put your bits and pieces, your sports gear, and, day to day, Monday to Friday, it's good to go to the office in, and then at the weekend you can, take it out and have a bit of fun. So, just a bit of a burnout there. Oh, very narrowly missed that car at the junction, so hopefully it doesn't report us, because, well, it's not our car. So the less said about that, the better. Quite good on the old handbrake turn. So in the event that you realise you've left your Jimmy Choo handbag in the shop down the road, you can quickly make a turnabout and go and retrieve it. Now, not stereotyping, but I think we can all agree that the majority of people driving these style of cars around is of the female gender. Perhaps that's going to be unpopular. Perhaps it is, but I reckon that's what this sort of vehicle is aimed fairly and squarely at. And I think perhaps that is a tad unfair, but I think that's definitely the target demographic. So with that in mind, I've come shopping. So I've come to the main sort of shopping district here, just to give the car a run up and down, see what it feels like, whether it's easy or tricky to park. I'm saying nothing about that because it definitely gets me into trouble. And again, you get a good feel for this car in the colour scheme that we've got here, and just checking the handbrake out, again for that sort of emergency dash back to the shop for a forgotten item, or perhaps suddenly seen a sale sign in a window. That has been known to do it. Final check on the handbrake. It is operating exactly as expected. Now, there's quite a handy Banshee here that I'm gonna rile up a little bit and see if we can get a bit of a race off the lights, just to check performance from a sort of performance standpoint. Because it's difficult to do a standalone performance test with these SUVs. So this offers us quite a handy race away from the light challenge. And it's now an opportunity to place your bet. So I'm going to give this full beans coming off the lights. Unfortunately, that Banshee is significantly faster and has essentially just destroyed us off the line there. So, from a performance perspective, I think it's fair to say that the Gallivanter Baller isn't quite as sprightly as the Banshee there, and that probably comes as no surprise to anyone. Now, it is raining, so safety first. We'll have the four-wheel drive system engaged, and I've now brought us out to the area around the sort of dam here, which gives us the opportunity to sort of soft off-road, or soft road, as I believe the phrase is. So this is a sort of dirt track, not heavy off-roading, and you know, something that this sort of vehicle should easily be able to cope with the complex technical electronic diffs, etc., and the sort of gizmos that are available on board. So with all that engaged, let's mosey up the hill and see how we get on. As you can see, it's coping remarkably well. Getting a little bit dirty, but coping remarkably well nevertheless. The suspension working away there. The brakes are excellent, nice and crisp, and the steering and the handling is as you would expect from a premium vehicle of this variety. So we'll take it a little bit further and see how we get on as we sort of continue up this somewhat slippery now. Rain has sort of set in, but somewhat slippery. I guess what would you call it? A mountain path. Trackway up here, but it does handle remarkably well. Now, having quite a lot of fun coming up this road. You can see the sort of dirt flying out the back as we're making steady and convenient progress. That was quite close to falling off the edge of the cliff there, so that panicked me a tad, but I think all in all we're doing remarkably well. Now, this has got me thinking that perhaps we should really put this through a bit more of a test and take the Baller off-road properly and really sort of see what it's made of. The manufacturer's claims are that it can do some off-roading, so let's give it a bash. So, first opportunity to go straight up the bank, and that has handled that remarkably well. Not a moment of hesitation, and I must say the tyres on this are just the standard road tyres. There's no trickery gone into it at all, and it's performing absolutely spectacularly. You know, great deal of fun there. Perfectly under control. Oh, have just hit an entirely solid bush there, but to be honest with you, probably for the best. Otherwise, might have ended up in the lake, and nobody wants that. So, climb back up the hill, and I am very impressed with how it manages to just go straight up that steep incline. No problems at all so far. Anyway, so we'll have to think about getting. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! It's going! Oh yes. Ah, now that's a tad tricky. Yeah, I think that's dead. I think the engine's flooded on that, and I'm not sure it works particularly well as a boat. So that's somewhat inconvenient. It was all going so well. Yeah, there's definitely water in there. And the bonnet's come up a bit there. There's probably water in there. Right, well, I don't know what to do about that. I think the best thing to do is run away as quickly as we can, and get a different SUV. This one you may recognise from the walk round in the Baggins garage. This is the Huntley S from my own personal collection. I have used that boat to get across the lake, but less said about that the better. And I think what we'll do is we'll run away from that Baller that's stuck in the lake, because there's no way that's going to be drivable again. And to be honest with you, there's probably many more road tests I want to do, but I don't think they're going to allow me to do any more on the basis that one of their vehicles fell off a mountain into a lake under my control. So let's take this car back to the city, and I think we should probably fess up to Dave. So So let's see if we can cut out a bit of travelling time here and make some steady. Oh, excellent! See that? The warp drive on the Huntley is really very convenient. So we've arrived back at base. Obviously, wrong car, but we'll just have a quick look around this. I must say this is probably the best SUV in the game. No doubt about that. In terms of raw power and speed, absolutely fantastic. But maybe a road test on that at some point in the future. Anyway, so thanks for watching this Baggins International video. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed making it. Please subscribe to the channel and check us out on Twitter. And I'm going to go and fess up to Dave. Thanks a lot. Bye now.